Hey everyone, I'm Turner Vinson, and I hope that you are quarantining well. With everyone at home, quarantined, with more time on their hands, you hear a lot of people talking about doing things that you've been wanting to do or meaning to do, that you've been delaying. And something that I've wanted to do is post a video every day for a week. So this week, we're doing it. So every day this week, Monday through Friday, I'm gonna post a plein air painting demonstration video right here on my channel, painting a view from my yard, which when you live in Montana, the views from my yard are pretty dang good. And just a little behind the scenes, today is Sunday. Well, you're watching this on Monday, but I'm recording it the day before, posting it the next day. So it's day one. Let's find something to paint. And really, it's kind of crazy that I haven't been painting from my yard anyways, but it's times like this that you start to realize, oh yeah, I've got beautiful scenes right here in my yard. All right, here's what we're gonna paint for day one of quarantined week of demos. I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna compose it, but this is the scene we're going for. And this is pretty much my standard palette, and the colors are titanium white, cad yellow light, yellow ochre, cad orange, burnt umber, madder lake deep, which is an alizarin crimson basically, cobalt violet deep, ultramarine blue, phthalo blue, and celestial blue, which is basically cerulean, and black. So I'm just getting a little terp and a dark value. This is just kind of some mud that was already there. And I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna place this scene on the canvas. This is just a store-bought canvas panel. It's a 12 by 24, and it's got some splatters on it from being in my studio. So I know that I want the shape of the driveway, this is the kind of our neighborhood road, cutting across and down, something, neighbor's driveway, something like that. And then these mountains. This is my man, my favorite mountain, Ward. Comes down to this patch of trees. Over to this mountain is Goat Mountain. And you might hear some lovely kids in the background. They might come visit. All right, and then this is Downing Mountain. Shoots up and off the page. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. All right. It's these trees. Then we have a hillside here with houses on it. And if you watch that last demo that I did, I was standing right around here somewhere for that last demo. I'll put a link up in the corner for it if you want to check it out. All right, something like that. All right, I'm quickly, just with this color that I have, I'm just gonna quickly blot, suggest some of these trees that are around. Let's see. Hi, buddy. You having fun? Just gonna block in this whole thing.
You're painting.
Yeah, I'm painting.
I'm painting.
And I'm talking to people on YouTube. You see them? Yeah, the joke, isn't it? Yeah. All right, there's some
Orange.
houses, some
Mommy,
structures
orange.
here. Just simple suggestions of them. All the way to the foreground. So I might put in this trash can. We'll decide later. Probably be about that size. I just drew a trash can. And then the neighbors have these nice little kind of sage brushy bushes here. Yeah, I like that. And then I do have another neighbor's house right here, but I think I'm gonna, yeah, I might suggest it. We'll see. And so that's like what, maybe 4 or 5 minutes, and I've laid out the whole idea of the painting in placement and composition, and now I'm gonna go straight into color. I can go with a bigger brush. This is number 6 filbert, and I'm gonna mass in these mountains, and it's a little hazy, so they're definitely in the distance, and then further back they get even lighter and cooler. So those are the things I'm thinking of. All right, let's see. It's a little dark. Lighten it up. Testing it before I just go for it. All right, I'm happy with that. There is a lighter value patch of snow here, so I'm going to kind of avoid it. Block that in. Say hi to the family.
We're riding a bike together.
See ya. Just making simple and subtle shifts to some of these colors. Just a little bit of terp. Be careful of your use of terp, because if you can't control it, it will get out of hand quickly. When I was studying, we didn't use terp at all. Maybe to draw just a little bit in the beginning. And after that, no terp. All right, I'm just gonna lighten this just a little bit. All these value shifts in the background have to be very subtle. I'm getting a little bit of wind, so I hope the audio is not too bad. If it is too bad, I'll jump over to a voiceover later in the studio. So that's the mountains blocked in quickly. I'm gonna jump straight to the sky. The sky is not blue. It is a grayish, a warm grayish color. So I'm considering that my mixture. I think I like that. Go with it. It's a little darker. There's some clouds right over the mountains. And then it gets lighter and much, much warmer. The sun it's blasting right here. So I'm gonna try to make that give it that kind of subtle glow. And then I'm just going to kind of gradate out from that. And quick. It's good for now. A little more terp and just kind of fill in some of these areas. You know, this is part of painting on location, is especially late in the day like this, is not fussing with it too much right now, because I'm more interested in trying to get a lot of other things in the painting before I spend too much time, you know, trying to perfect everything. There's this distant, a little more distant, cooler. This might be too cool back in here, and it kind of hints at it here too. All right, I'm just going to move forward to this tree line, right where the mountains meet the trees, and it's pretty dark. It is green. There's a lot of, it's green, but it's dark as well. It might be too dark. It is too dark, so I'm lightening it up a little bit. And I'm just going to hint at tree line here. I'm not going to worry about exact shapes of trees right now. Just quick. This tree was in the wrong spot. It's right here. Moving over here, trees. And you know, as you guys, as I mentioned, everyone being quarantined and at home, you are welcome to try to do these, you know, kind of do copies of these, or, you know, follow along or whatever you want to do. And you have the luxury of pausing it. So if you have interest, go for it. Now's the time to try. Why not? All right, this group of trees here. There's one tree here. This one jumps up. This got a little, I just swashed my brush in the turp and it got a little too wet for my liking. Just hinting at trees. And these are backlit, so there's this nice kind of rim light happening, especially on that first tree, this one. And some subtle light here. Yeah. All right, and that's the trees. We're just gonna jump to these hills, which they're lit. They're kind of sparkling, and I'm gonna take that and run, kind of exaggerate it some. But there's still variations in it. And those variations help it feel more like it's lit from the sun than just painting it all one big, bright, shimmering color. And then it just kind of carves out some of these trees. That tree's not near that tall. There. This is kind of an area I didn't address completely. Over here, let's see. Put these trees in here. Make this mountain come over. Clean that up a little bit. Carve out some of the trunks just a little bit. And there's these nice, they have some really nice purple shadows coming down the mountain this way. Some of these are really, really nice. All right, I'm going to quickly address this structure here. I'm not even really painting its shape. I just am trying to hint that, you know, this is some sort of man-made thing. There's a nice tree popping up right here. And it has that nice rim light as well. And I'm just gonna subtly dance some of this light. Up there. I like the progression. I like where it's going. We just need to get everything blocked in, and then we'll start, see if we have time, start adjusting from there. You know, I love that I'm making myself do this from our driveways or from our yard, because I keep looking at these scenes like, man, there's just unbelievable scenes right here that I'm looking at all the time, and I'm not forcing myself to paint them because I'm leaving the house to go paint other amazing scenes. But like I said, it's nice to be forced into painting them. And you very well may have the same arrangement, something nice right around you. All right, I'm looking at these sagebrush here. They have a wonderful shape to them. And then have nice light bouncing around them. But to make that read, it needs the darks that are back there, which I have just kind of skipped around. And always remember to get back and squint, view this thing from a distance, make sure it's going in the right direction. It's very, very easy to be standing here and just get totally lost in your painting. Have absolutely no clue. And it's so easy to just sit right there and to stay in it. And then you take it home, or you get all done and wrapped up, you step back and you go, oh, that's not at all where I thought this thing was going. I'm just blocking in this area is lit here, but this is a personal decision that I'm trying in my work to achieve some more variety of texture within my work, so that it's not all thick, fat brushstrokes. So I want some thin, I want some scraped out stuff, I want some thick stuff, And so this is an area where I'm looking at this foreground where it might just be a simple wash in this area, and you know, see if something like that I can pull that off. There's the shadow that this sage is making. Neighbors driving by. My neighbors don't really know what I do yet. We haven't been here long enough, so I'm the crazy guy out painting a picture. All right, I like where we're going. Just gotta keep it up. We still got some time. It's not we're not at the. We still got some time. The sun's still got a ways to go. So I'm gonna blast this with light, and it's kind of a silvery. It's warm, but it's not, you know, yellow. Let's see if we can find that. But the value, it has to be that light. That light. All right, I'm going with that. And then this is an area where I'm thinking, I think this could use the nice thick stuff that I so often love and am using. But just to keep that interest and to keep that variety, I think is important. This is the neighbor's driveway coming up. Here. That trash can would sit right there. I'm not convinced that it would make the painting better. It might. Haven't decided yet. Step back, take a look. All right, I like the direction it's going. Just keep going. And if you guys, as you're watching, if you have questions, if you have things you want me to talk about, this is day one. Leave them, and as we progress through this week, I can look at the comments, we can make some changes. If you have some suggestions, leave them in the comments below, and we'll check them out. I said we'll check them out, but there's no team here, it's just me. I have a very supportive wife, but she's not interested in holding a camera. Plus, well, we have kids. All right, let's see if we can work on the shape of these mountains. You know, often people make their mountains too stylistic without trying to represent nature enough. And I have found that true for myself and have noted it and tried to fix it, because nature is there's so much subtle variety in nature that we could never represent all of it, but to represent enough of it, I think, is important. And to acknowledge all of the shifts, all of the subtlety of nature. It's incredible. It really is incredible. I'm gonna get a smaller brush for some of this area. On these mountain lines, it is often an area where I'll use a little terp, just in looking at the edge, kind of the contour, and getting some of those subtle shifts. That went just a little too high there. Pull it back down there. I'm squinting and seeing a lot of this white coming through, and sometimes it's not distracting. Those spots were distracting, so I'm going to take care of them. then while I'm on the mission, I'll take care of some of these others. And if you're a painter, I'd love to know it. Leave a comment below. Let me know if you're a painter. If you're not a painter, I am almost more interested in those folks who would be this far into this video and you're not a painter, because I think, what the heck are you doing watching this? But I do get that it can just be entertaining at sometimes. But I'd love to know if you're not a painter. I'd love to know that you're watching, and give me some thoughts, give me some reasons why you find this interesting. Maybe you want to paint. Maybe you enjoy the idea of painting, but maybe you're not actively pursuing it. Or maybe you just like watching. Leave a comment below, let me know. I'm squinting a lot and just seeing little areas that are a little confusing. And as I see them, I'm just bouncing around. Squinting, bouncing around. Especially with these late evening paintings, you have to be careful with some of the white that's showing through, because it can kind of throw off the values of your light. Kind of where your light is popping here and there. It may not read as well when the white of the canvas is showing. And as you look through my work, you'll see that there's rarely a painting I have where there's no canvas showing. It's almost every single painting I have. But this particular time of day, I think it's pretty important. These trees over here are getting just a little more light in them. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with where this is going. I'm enjoying this scene a lot. Hopefully, as we do one every day, that continues. Right here is a house, and then another house is right above it, and I don't want to paint that. So I'm just gonna pretend that field continued right there. Now, if this guy was commissioning me to paint the neighborhood, you better believe I would be working on getting that house in there. But as it is, I'm not finding it important to my painting for that house on the hill to be there. All right, stepping back, viewing it, squinting. I'm still seeing some of the white of the canvas throw me off a little more than I want. And that's in this area here. Here. I'm just gonna be a little more diligent than I normally am. Get this covered. Right here. There's also, right here, it has a nice bend to it that I'm not getting. Helps a little bit. And I'm not seeing this because I'm not quite high enough, but it seems like it would be a nice element if I pretended that this driveway right here, you could see the rock of the driveway and just pretended that it went into light. Might be a nice little element. I don't know if that's gonna read that way, but it might. Let's see. Then it shifts into a kind of a purpley shadow right in there. Maybe. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe it does. We'll leave it for now. All right, get some of this white covered up. This is another area that white was a little problematic. All right, this field in front of the house, there's a field right here, and it's getting hit with some nice backlit, tall grass. It's really kind of shimmering. Step back again. This area here just feels undone. And it's a little tricky because, let's see, I'm trying not to show you, all of my neighbors' houses and everything, like give some people some privacy, but right here is the sagebush. As I jump over, there's a car, a truck here, a Jeep, a little building, and then a house. And I'm kind of torn. I don't think that I want to include that stuff. So I'm kind of referencing some other areas, and I'm just going to kind of edit that out. And of course, for everyone, those are the personal decisions, the luxuries you get to make as you're painting. And that's one I'm going to make here. And that hill comes down and goes into shadow. It goes into shadow down here. But there's still some areas, some light kind of dancing down through here. And then where these two shapes meet, the grass here and this in shadow, has some variety in it. It comes up a little higher here and it drops down. And then there's some taller stuff. And I'm going to get some harder edges up here, and we may call it a painting, or a sketch at least. I'm slow to call things finished, and I think that there's no reason to call it finished. I have plenty of time. Looking for the brush that's in my hand. I have plenty of time, and I think that this plein air community, this idea about plein air painting and painting on location, don't let it force you into a certain time frame, a certain time limit, because I think when we limit ourselves too much, we don't allow ourselves to grow as much as we could. And if you want to work on location, that's great. Just tell yourself that you're going to go back. You're going to go back to that location as many times as you need to go to make that thing, finished. And I do a lot of quick paintings, but I'm trying to force myself to slow down and not have to sacrifice, doing what I enjoy doing, which is coming out and working on location. If that's what I'm enjoying doing, well then do it. Just don't let that be a hindrance to you. And, you don't want to have to say, oh, well, it doesn't look very finished because I only did it in 45 minutes. No, when it's hanging on the wall, if it's crap, then it's crap. It doesn't matter if it was done in an hour, and it doesn't matter if you were able to pull it off in 15 minutes. If it's crap, it's crap. And so make sure you push yourself, those of you who are painters, push yourself to not limit yourself in that way. There's a little bit lighter value still, some of these, in this most distant layer. I just want it to be subtle. I'm gonna work on this tree right here. It's got some areas that just kind of got skipped, which happens in my work a lot. I have quite a bit of paint on my brush, and I'm just touching the canvas. Just a couple areas where that distant hill seems to kind of poke through some of those trees. Squinting, and honestly, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with the direction that's gone. I keep wondering still, what about the trash can? But I'm gonna choose to leave that out for now. And that's a wrap of day 1 for the week of quarantine demonstrations. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you tomorrow.